Hi everybody, Christian here from Undique. Today I'm in Delaware, just an hour and a half away from New Jersey, where I usually hang out, and with me is Yagiz from Hatching Time. Yes, I have to do a little shopping. As you know, I'm gonna build more quail huts in my garage, and so I couldn't stop by coming in and couldn't stop looking at those crazy incubators here. Well, crazy, but they look really fancy. So Yagiz, thanks for taking time for me.
And, welcome first of all.
Thank you. Maybe you can tell me a little bit about them.
So we have CT model incubators here, CT 60, 120 and 180. So the capacity is for chicken eggs, but when we are translating it to quail, basically we can multiply it by 4. So you will roughly fit here 250 eggs, you'll fit about 500 eggs, and you'll be able to fit here roughly about 600 eggs. So when it comes to quantities and which one is the best, I think the biggest is the best, right? Because every quail owner, they start with the smallest incubator, but they quickly ramp up to the largest incubator. So my recommendation is always have a room to grow. So when you're starting with your current capacity, you very quickly run out of space, and you don't have any space to grow. So yeah, my recommendation would be always start with the big model, because the price difference between the models are not very drastic. So for example, this model is $749 at the moment. This model is $899, and the largest model is $1,049. So basically, it's $150 between each model.
And I can always put less eggs in an incubator,
of course,
but it's hard to put more eggs in an incubator if there's not more space,
exactly.
right?
And as you see, each layer is controlled separately. So for example, I don't know, if you're not putting eggs here, you can just remove it and just connect this one.
That's nice. So I can also do staggered hatches in those.
Yes, you can. You can take out the turners and just put here the hatching baskets. So let's say in one layer you can hatch chicken eggs, in one layer you can hatch quail eggs, on the third layer you can have duck eggs, and then you can have hatching baskets, let's say.
Nice. Thanks for the advice in regards to the sizing, because I experienced myself now with the sizing of my quail setup that it's just way too little. And if I would decide on going with one of the incubators, I'm already standing on this side here next to this big baby, so I think I know what my choice would be. You can always put less eggs in the big one, but you can't put more eggs in the smaller one.
Exactly.
And in regards to technology, since I'm quite a tech guy, I see a controller out there. So maybe you can tell me a little bit about how that works, because I'm just used to the smaller ones. There is not much tech to it, but this looks definitely interesting.
So basically your control panel is in the front, right? You can set the temperature, you can set the humidity. And the humidity is controlled with the adapter on the left side, and the turners are controlled with the panel on the right side, right? So if you are not using humidity or doing a dry hatch, you can just unplug it. So you save some energy basically if you're not using it. Or if you are not using trays, turner trays, you can disconnect them, so you can save some energy as well. If you're not using any of the trays, and if you're just hatching, you can disconnect the turner adapter as well.
That's very flexible. I like
it.
It
is very flexible. And inside we have the sensor. It controls temperature and humidity. And outside you have a different, the second sensor, which controls the room temperature and humidity. So basically, if you're setting your incubator in a cold room, it will give you an alarm that the room temperature is cold. So basically you're controlling not only the incubator inside, but you're controlling the room incubator is as well.
That's very smart, because I noticed with what I've done so far, and I only do quail hatching now since 4 years. There's people out there who have much longer experience, but obviously the outside environment, really has a big impact on where the incubator is placed, right? Otherwise the incubator needs to work harder. So you guys were pretty smart to build in an alarm for that.
Exactly. Like, imagine you're setting up incubator 99.8 degrees, right? And the room is, let's say, 40 degrees. So your heater is going to work non-stop at its maximum. So you will your energy consumption is going to be very high. But if, let's say, your room temperature is 70, 75, so the heater is going to turn on and off, and will regulate the temperature inside.
Right.
So then you will start saving some energy, basically.
That's nice. So far what I incubate is all with solar, of course with a battery buffer between, because there's no sunshine at night. But so far I managed to keep it with what my panels can produce. So that's obviously something I keep in mind in regards to energy consumption. So it's really cool. Also when you stop turning the heads, you just unplug on the outside and that's it.
Yeah. And we are working on a technology at the moment that the machine itself, maybe in a couple of years, will be able to run even on a battery.
Oh.
So you don't have to plug it to the outlet.
Right.
But maybe we will save enough power, enough energy consumption that we will be able to run it with the batteries.
Right.
So
instead of AC, that you run it off the DC current straight from the battery, and then you don't lose in the conversion. That's very smart.
So.
And I can take it even camping, my incubator.
Yeah, I mean, you can really take it to camping with you, and you can just plug in the car.
In the inverter somewhere, yeah, for sure.
You can do that.
I could do that. I think somebody at home would complain about that. I need to have a break of quail sometimes too. That's very smart, super. Maybe we walk over now, if you don't mind, to the cages. I already have some hatching time cages, but I'm here to shop for more, so come with us.
Of course.
Super. Okay. So now we are here at the 5-tier brooder cage, right, Yagiz? And I have one of those at home, and I'm thinking to take another one home. But for the viewers out there who might be completely new to hatching time cages, maybe you can give us a bit an idea about the features and how to put it together. I want to emphasize I'm one of these people who don't read the manual, but and one sample, I'm happy to admit my mistakes is, for example, this green thingy here. I don't even know how you call it.
It's a feed trough connector.
A feed trough connector.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my English is a challenge today. And I thought it's a lifter for the lovely non-food spillage grid, as I call it. You probably have a different name for it.
That's okay.
So I put it just in the food tray and thought that's fine, it lifts that a little bit up and it's okay. But I learned from another breeder that actually there is another purpose to that. But maybe, I guess, you can give from a professional view. I mean, you work with these cages now since so many years. You sell them, you make them. Maybe give me a bit of an idea, and the viewers out there, what you use this breeding cage for.
So breeding cage, this is for quail. It comes with the manure trays, so it is a collection of manure for quail. And it comes with a feed trough, and as you mentioned, it comes with a grill that avoids spilling or wasting the food. It really helps a lot of our clients. It minimizes the food waste, basically. Inside the cage, you have the doors, the walls, that can open and close.
Right.
So if you have aggressive birds that you want to keep away from the flock, so you can basically separate them and close the in between walls. Or if you want to have one open layer, you can remove the indoors to make it like one open layer.
Right.
It comes with the water system, so basically it distributes water to each layer through the PVC pipes. So in each layer it comes with the 3 nipple drinkers that helps watering the birds. It comes with also collection baskets. So basically it's a vertical flooring, and then it will help you to collect eggs, clean eggs, which is very important. It helps you to collect clean eggs from the egg collectors. It comes with the wheels, so it is very easy to transport, as you can see. So pretty much I can call it everything a quail breeder needs comes within this cage. And the biggest advantage from my perspective, as I was also a quail owner once upon a time in the past, you can power wash it. Right? And you know, the manure of quail is very acidic, so whatever metal it touches, it rusts, right? The good thing is that this cage will not rust. You can power wash it, and it will be looking like a brand new cage, basically. Easier to clean. It will help breeders. To spend minimum time, minimum effort to get their birds up and running.
Now, if some of you guys watch my old videos, you see with the one I built myself, because that's what I used to be a little bit like. I do everything myself. I was in the middle of the pandemic. Wood prices were off the roof. Just to get the wood to actually build my cage, that was expensive. Not talking about the time putting it together, because I have sometimes two left hands. So me working with wood and cutting stuff, that's dangerous. So I did build one of them already, and maybe I wasn't too smart, but the middle wall, for example, I didn't recognize, I didn't read the manual, and I didn't recognize this is a middle wall, so I put it to the side. And I figured, oh, that's wrong now, but I was a little lazy and said, I just leave it like that. But structural, I think it didn't make a difference, and the way I have it in my quail hut, it actually is convenient to be able to open it on the side as well. I know it's maybe not the manufacturer's recommendation, but as you said also, that you can separate it, make it bigger and smaller. I like that a lot. I have a few different colors of quail, so I keep usually a breeding group of 4 hens with one rooster in one single compartment. I have a hospital compartment, as I call it, where there's a single one up there, or for somebody who needs a bit timeout, or waiting for freezer camp maybe. And that you have the flexibility to have a compartment where you just have 2 as well. It's really nice as well, depending where you want to go with your breeding program. I like that a lot. Of course, I read a lot on Facebook what people say, and so I don't always want to show the sunshine. I also want to show the shade. And I think, as I produce products myself, there is a downside to every product, and I think it really depends though on how the customer uses it. So, as this is plastic, for example, it's not recommended to have it year-round out in the sunshine, right? Because we all know that from our garden furniture. If you leave plastic out in the sunshine all year long, it might fade a little. It might be not as bright color anymore. But structurally, it stays the same. It's very durable. But what other recommendations would you have for customers to avoid issues other than what I did? Automated my watering system and with a little pump, and I can control it with my app on the phone.
Ah, nice.
But if you forget to switch it off, you have a nice little waterfall coming down the side. There's one of the videos, look back at that. But Yagiz, maybe you can tell a bit, what would you recommend to people when you put cages like this together, or maybe use them? What you see in your customer service department are often questions, and it could be avoided if people read the manual.
You mentioned about leaving it outdoors during summertime, and I would add also the winter time, because summertime the plastic get relaxing, and winter time it scratches. So having said that, it becomes more brittle during winter time, and during summertime when it will relax, the pieces will basically fit together better. So always do the assembly during the room temperature, okay? Not during the winter time outside, but do it room temperature. Let the cage sit a little bit in the room, get up to the room temperature. It will be much easier to assemble and click them together.
Oh, that's great advice, because I have a 2 hours trip back home to New Jersey today. I'm really excited that I'm gonna go and buy later one of these cages, and we talk later about another one. And yeah, after that road trip, obviously it's snowing today, it's gonna be cold, so it's not a good idea if I
Just
do
leave
that
it in the
tonight.
room or just give it
time
tomorrow.
to warm up a little. That's
Yeah.
good advice. Yeah, obviously that makes very much sense to, and for the birds themselves, you know, as more stable the environment is for the birds, that's my opinion. I think it's better. It's for the birds themselves as well. You don't want to keep that out in freezing temperatures. I mean, there's an egg rollout. You know, I mean, the egg will freeze in the winter, right?
Yeah.
Just recently happened to me when I dropped one on the way from my setup into the kitchen. I dropped one in the snow. It was perfectly frozen. My dog was happy. Had a quail egg ice cream, if that's the thing. Cool. What else would you advise people? In assembly, be careful, right? With carpet, I think.
I would do it on a soft surface. I just want to go back to what you mentioned. During winter time, when you're leaving the cage outside, because the water goes to the PVC pipes, the water system might freeze,
Right.
and the birds will be lacking water.
Right.
So that's also very important. That during winter time, when it's snowing like today outside, and it's, I don't know, maybe 14, 15 degrees outside, it's better you keep it indoors somewhere where the water system is not going to freeze.
That's a good
because when the water system will freeze, you have to change pretty much everything because the pipes will crack.
Yeah.
Crack, yeah.
I used to be a firefighter, and we sometimes had to run miles and miles of hoses when there was a farm on fire. And yeah, as long as the water is constantly flowing, it's fine. But as soon as the water kind of is stale, like similar than in a cage like this, yeah, you have a big problem. So I like it about my setup. I have the quail hut, like I use this growing tent. The green hut is the brand, I believe. And so the cages are contained in there. I did that initially for the smell, but now in the winter time, there's big benefits. And I see you guys have thermostats as well here on sale. So I monitor the temperature with inside the hut, but also what I have in the garage. And I don't want to heat the entire garage to keep that from happening. So in the green hut itself, from the body heat, what the quail are producing, I have in the winter, even if it's below freezing in the garage itself, I still have around 50 degrees Fahrenheit in the green hut, which prevents the water from freezing, and the birds are more comfortable as well than being on the outside where it has, you know, below freezing, sometimes 19 degrees. It's just, I don't like the cold.
Exactly.
I don't like the cold.
You're saying you don't like the cold, birds don't like the cold as well.
They don't like it so much either.
You might see during winter time, like their productivity and how many eggs they lay, it drops. So basically, they need to be comfortable as well.
Right, exactly. One other thing I think, which is common sense, is there's already a water tank up there, right? People might tend to use the rest of the space as a storage space, maybe a feed bag. Maybe not recommended to put more extra weight on it or overcrowding the cages. I mean, for the health of the birds especially, but also for the weight, right? I mean, you mentioned you have the wheelies on, which are cool. When you have an empty cage, you want to bring outside to wash it down, but obviously it's not designed to have water in there, food up there, all the birds in there, and then let's go for a ride.
Exactly. So whenever you're taking it out, let's say not on a straight surface like in here, we recommend always empty the water, empty the feed trough, take out the birds, and then slide it out as an empty cage.
Right.
Because when you have birds inside, eggs loaded, manure trays loaded, feeding troughs loaded, the water is there, it will be heavy to take it out. And we have a lot of clients, they break the legs simply because they overloaded. And as you mentioned, they put the feed on it, they used that the top surface as a storage unit, but you know, the wheels are not to carry all the weight.
Right.
So yeah,
it's the
damages happen as well.
Like with every design of a product, as I do that myself, and mainly for dog treats, but it's basically the same. A product is a product. it's designed for a specific use case.
Right.
And yeah, this is made to have it easy when you want to take it out for cleaning.
Right.
And I assume most of you don't want to give a power wash to your birds. So yeah, of course you take them out first. So do that before you move it. And again, yeah, if you power wash, makes no sense to bring a little bit water with you, right?
That's right.
So common sense. That's great. Cool. I heard people about doors and things like that. I never really had issues with the doors there themselves. People asking, this gets stuck. Of course, you have to lift it up. It's all made with a purpose. You make it so nice. Can you show that one more time?
Yeah, I mean, when the door sits, you just tap it up a little bit and then open it, so it will stay above the fitting trough.
I have seen kids like go like
clients, yeah, they try to open like it's
so simple. One hand.
Yeah.
So you have the other hand.
It's made with a purpose, because sometimes the birds hit from the other side.
Right.
To avoid the door opening, basically we want it to hit to the fitting trough so that it doesn't open. Right? It's made in a purpose that when we are opening it, we can just pull it out a little bit and then open it. But when the birds are hitting from inside the cage, that they will not be able to open it from inside.
That's smart.
Because you might wake up in one day and all your birds are
somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's really smart. With the poop trays, I'm really happy when I made my own design with my self-pit stuff. I made it way too high, and okay, I got lazy, I don't have to clean the poop every day. Isn't that nice? But as you get older, your back starts hurting. Right? And here the slide out, the way you have them designed, it's just perfect there for you.
So when it comes to manure trays, it's also made in a purpose that it's just an inch deep, because you need to clean your quail coop or quail cage on a regular basis, to not to pile up the manure. That's not good for the birds, that's not good for the hygiene, and that's not good for the sickness as well.
Right.
So we could make it, the full depth in here for 4 or 5 inches, but we want to encourage our clients to clean, to pay attention to the birds that they're having, or they have some income. Basically, the birds are important for clients. It's an extra income source, right? So they need also attention.
Right.
We want our clients to treat their birds with a priority as well.
Exactly. That's the way I look at that as well. When I initially got into it, I was like, okay, a long weekend somewhere would be nice, and I don't need anybody to take care of the birds. Once you get more experienced, and then when I turned my hobby to a business, it was, you start thinking differently, and I made mistakes in the past, I admit them, but you can always change, right?
Of course.
And
it's very similar to you take care of your car and it will run many years.
Right.
You don't take care of your car, and in the winter time it will stop in the middle of the road. So
exactly.
It's very similar also with the products you have and with the animals that you carry at home.
Right.
Pretty much you take care of them, they take care of you.
Right. Speaking of products, so that leads me to one more thing in regards to cleaning, right? People might be tempted to overdo it and take Clorox or 100% Clorox and spray it down, and obviously that's bleach that would stain the color eventually if you do that over time. What is your recommendation in regards to cleaning in general? Like if you think about on a daily routine, monthly, and then a quarterly routine, what do you recommend?
As you mentioned, we have clients that are power washing it every week. Like there is no such a need. It's an overkill, in my opinion. I think quarterly, just taking it out, power washing, and giving a deep cleaning is the best. I mean, that's what I would do. That's what I would recommend personally. Knowing the product and knowing the need of the bird as well.
Right.
Birds are not gonna need cleaning like every week.
Yeah, not laying big eggs because it's a little cleaner
exactly.
if you overdo it. Right?
Exactly. And even sometimes they need to leave it to their habitat, basically. Right. Having said that, I don't recommend bleach. That's not the way of cleaning a plastic product, I would say. And there is no reason to clean with the bleach. But if you're gonna mix maybe a spoon of bleach inside a gallon of water, that's enough, and then you can power wash it. That will help.
That makes sense. Super. Let's move on to the grow-out cage, because that's definitely something I need too.
Of course.
Okay, here we are now at the grow-out pen. So as I want to double the output of my quail production for the dog treats and for the Red Hatch program as well, to be able to take birds back and grow them out, and the girls will have a happy life laying eggs, then later in the laying cage, which we just saw. I really need a grow-out pen, and the design looks familiar. Yagiz, how come that it looks very familiar to me?
Most probably it's because you have already. And it's also a brooder. So when you're putting the heating element here and changing the doors, it becomes a brooder. So we have a lot of clients, they purchase a brooder and then changing the doors and removing the heating element, they convert it to grow-out pens.
That makes sense. Yeah, I do have the 3-tier brooder already with the heating elements, but yeah, the doors are different. I assume on the brooder side, the plastic doors, they keep in the heat a little bit better, and as they get older, the birds, they don't need the heating element anymore, so that's taken out. But again, as you mentioned, the option to take it back in as well if you wanted to convert it to a brooder. And so you sell the parts separately for that?
We do, yes.
Like the doors and
the doors and the heating elements can be purchased separately if you would like to convert it to a brooder, let's say.
That's very smart, because right now I have kind of a schedule in my mind and written down on how I'm gonna have my rotation system and how I want to grow them out. But if that works not out the way I want it, then it's good to know that I could, with this 5-tier here, just say, okay, I need an extra brooder, stick that in, change the doors, and I'm ready to go.
Yep.
Very, very nice. I like this modular kind of setups. It's like what you say in IT, plug and play. And here it's plug and brood.
Exactly. And every layer basically is adjustable, so you can mix and match. You can have one layer brooder, one layer grow-out pen, and another layer, let's say, breeding cage we just reviewed. So you can mix and match every layer separately.
Since we are on this model, and it's very similar to the brooder, I throw in some brooder questions as well, if you don't mind. Because this white, I don't know how you call it.
Fig grills.
The grill here, it looks like a grill, a bit like what you have on your car. Is there a trick to it to keep the smaller birds in? Because I have some feed trays which come with the cages usually in there for the chicks, but as they are little, they like to take little excursions out here on the, as I call it, the balcony in that case then. Is there a trick to it to do something different, that they stay in there? I see a lot of people, including myself, they stick a piece of cardboard in here in front.
Let me show you something. So basically you don't need to do anything else. You can keep using
that grill.
This grill.
Somebody stuck it in real well there.
You just need to put it this way.
Now we can see it side by side. That's smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so
when you will turn it other way around, it means that you close this grill side.
So it's very flush, and there is no way that a chick makes it out there, really.
Exactly.
If you put it in proper.
Exactly. And when it is like this on the top, yes, they will go out.
They can stick their head out to eat when they're older.
On the feed mill. But if it's like this, then you would push all the way down. There is no way that they will go out.
That's very smart. I'm sure that's in your user manual and instruction videos, but people like me don't read that, so I had to find out the hard way.
Most probably you found some babies running on the feet.
So from now on I won't have any more cardboard stuck in my brooder and in my grow out setup. Thanks for that little trick as well. My wife is definitely happy as well since I have hatching time cages. I have to say that because it's the truth. It's for me also more joy to take care of the quail, especially on the brooder setup. What I like, you mentioned the poop trays. I think if you have the heat on the full 40 Celsius, so that's in Celsius there on the thermostat, but it's easy conversion, and for me it actually helps as a European originally.
But we are converting it to Fahrenheit.
So product update. There is going to be Fahrenheit on it. Don't get confused, guys, when you when you get more brooder cages and you say, okay, I put it now on 90 Fahrenheit instead of 40 Celsius. The poop gets nice and dry that way when there is heat on them. That reduces the stink, which is nice.
Yeah.
So far I haven't had your setup during the summer, so I'm gonna keep you posted about that.
Sure.
Because I have with my old system, letting poop pile up, it adds a lot of flies.
Yeah.
And it's yet to be shown. In my setup, I assume there will be no flies whatsoever because I have them enclosed as well.
Yeah.
And I really take care of them every day. Yeah, that's smart here. Same story as we said earlier on, don't use the top as storage unless maybe for an incubator. Talking about incubators, I mean, you have seen early on the line and there's more coming, so I guess we're gonna do another video going forward if I may come again.
Hopefully.
It's a short ride for me, so we're gonna do hopefully some updates on that as well.
Yep.
And I'd like to thank you, Yagiz, for your time today.
Thank you very much for visiting us.
Thank you, sir. It was great to see the showroom here. I recommend it to anybody if you pass by Delaware. The New Jerseyans and New Yorkers understand me when we say it's usually a state where we drive through.
Exactly.
Now you have a great stop in the middle to take a break, pass by the hatching time team here and see what they got in store.
Exactly. I would be very happy to welcome anyone who is, driving down 95. Stop by and just have a tour of our showroom and look at our incubators and any products we have. We'll have a little chat.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.